We are at the Eagle's Nest Coffee House in Wabasha, Minnesota for our first Wabasha segment, I guess. We haven't come up with a name yet, Mayor.
We've not. What have you been thinking about?
I haven't. I thought maybe what's up in Wabasha?
Well,
perhaps.
I'm saying welcome to wonderful Wabasha.
All right. We'll
www.
www. All right. Welcome to wonderful Wabasha. It sounds good. Jim, you all right with that?
I'm all right with that. It's good. It's good.
All right. We're going to talk about lots of things that are happening here in Wabasha. And one thing is coming up later today. We've got the holiday train coming up, and this is something that happens once a year, correct?
That's correct. We feel very fortunate that Canadian Pacific does stop in Wabasha, and the beneficiary is the food shelf, and they make a nice contribution, and our community has supported the Canadian Pacific holiday train for years, so we're looking forward to it.
All right. You know, I just realized I didn't introduce who was with me, because we got Mayor Rollin Hall here, Mayor of Wabasha, and we got Java Jim, the proprietor of the Eagle's Nest. Jim, thanks for being here today.
Thanks. Thanks. It's good to be here. It's fun to be here.
You'll be here every day, I'm sure.
Every day.
Yeah, great.
So we got the holiday train, and then something else that's coming up at the Wabasha has been talking about, and I see there were some preliminary drawings in the paper last week. The Regional Event Center.
The local Chamber of Commerce and some others have an idea, a plan to convert a couple of city buildings into a regional event center. We think that will be a bookend for Wabasha in addition to our National Eagle Center, that it will be a place that our community can gather, that they can have events such as weddings and receptions and so on. Jim, what have you got to say on that?
Well, it's all in the planning stage. There's a lot of work to be done yet. It's a good idea, especially looking at the DMZ, the District Medical Center, DMBC. Destination. And so it's a good idea in cooperation with that. Sounds like there could be a need for something like that. But like I say, it's it's in the planning stages yet. It's a lot of work to do. But they got it started, and I'm sure that when they get all done with it, they'll spend a lot of hours on figuring it all out and making it appropriate for our community, and it would be appropriate for our community. We're an hour away from Rochester, so that'd be nice.
And the concept drawing, knowing that it was just a concept drawing, that looked pretty nice already.
It does look nice, and if this works out, it'll be a great thing. But as Jim said, there's a ways to go yet, and there are folks that got to give them credit that are questioning. But when you're in a small community, a vibrant community like ours, you're going to have different viewpoints, and we'd work together to get a satisfactory ending.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about Jim's place here, the coffee shop, Eagle's Nest, and this is, I guess, the spot in town. It looks like you got a lot of folks here enjoying themselves, not only having coffee but playing some games and things.
We try to be a community center in and of ourselves. We have a good morning crowd, the typical coffee clatches. On Mondays we have the group meet, a whole bunch of ladies meet, who all have one thing in common. They have retired to Wabasha. Some of them were from here originally, some of them not, but it's a nice group. And then their husbands meet too, but they won't sit together now. The husbands sit over there, so pretty fun. And we have a table of mahjong going right now. On Mondays we'll have 4 tables of mahjong going. Bridge players come in on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I think it is. They come in and play. So we try to make it a community event, a community place where you're welcome. You have time to gather and meet with friends. It's a relaxed place, so we try to keep it that way. We've been at it for 17 years, and we're still here. So
I was going to say the atmosphere in here is really nice. You walk in, and the Mayor will probably back me up on this. It's just really relaxed, and you feel comfortable right when you walk through the door.
Well, we try to make it that way. We have a lot of people come from out of town. You might know some of them.
Yeah, my folks are frequent flyers here.
They come in and have lunch with us, and we got a good reputation throughout the southeast Minnesota. So we have a lot of out-of-town people coming to say hi to us and say, come and eat lunch with us. So we want you to feel welcome. We want you to come back.
I would say that Wabasha is very fortunate that we have several good restaurants and good places to have a cup of coffee. In fact, recently, I think we were listed as one of the top 10 towns in Minnesota for restaurants per capita. So we enjoy coming to Java's for a cup of coffee, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say that we have other excellent restaurants in our community. Several.
Now, in my note here it says good news. Jim, do you have any good news?
Yeah, I got good news. You bet. Wabasha is the oldest city in Minnesota. Everybody knows that. Well, there's a few people that dispute that, but it's the truth. But we're also home to the largest independent toy manufacturer in the United States, Lark Toys, just down the street from us, 5 miles. We have the largest privately owned kimono collection in the world, and kimonos are typical wedding dresses in the Japanese culture. This gentleman collected them, started collecting in the 40s, and continues to do it. I mean, some of them are made out of pure gold. It's amazing. They weigh a ton. But that's right here in Little Wabasha, Minnesota. He's got a shop on the main street. And then we're home to the National Eagle Center. I mean, a town of 2,500 people, and we got the National Eagle Center, not the semi-national, not the almost national, but the National Eagle Center. And it is a wonderful place. If you've never gone to it, you need to go to it. It is just very interesting. I think that's some pretty good news about a town of 2,500 people. I mean,
Jim, maybe some other good news was this past summer we were reported in one of the Twin City papers that this was the best small town for families in Minnesota.
That's true.
And that really said for families to visit a small town, Wabasha was #1. And they listed the Eagle Center, they listed the Chocolate Shop, and they listed Lark Toy as 3 of the biggest attractions. So that's a good point.
Yeah, it is. I think this town is, like the mayor said earlier, it's very vibrant, very, the community is excited about being part of the community. It's not like nobody participates in the community. Everybody seems to be interested. On the event center, there's a lot of talk about it, pro and con, but it's the community getting together, making this decision, not just one group saying, well, this is what we have to have, don't you love it? It's the whole community is in the process of chewing this up and molding it and seeing how it comes. So I think that's unusual in communities these days, because people, bedroom community, they sleep here, they go to work, they don't participate. Our community participates, even though we have a lot of people who sleep here, then go to work, but they still participate. So I think that's good.
To add on to that participation idea, Dave, we did have a 65% turnout in our local election this last fall, and I believe that would rank about 15% higher than, or 15 points higher than the state averages.
I was going to say that's a lot higher than what the state average was. And
yeah.
It was like I think it was 50 point something percent
just
for the
over
state.
50.
So yeah, that was very good.
Yes.
And of course, you've got lots of fun recreational things to do here. You've got the Coffee Mill ski area, and I suppose there are some people slaloming on the slopes already?
The ski hill is open right now, and it's been open the last couple weekends, and it's a winter activity that visitors can come and enjoy our area and as you say, recreate. So we're working on other concepts, ideas, how we can be a more vibrant and tourist attraction during the winter months. The ski hill's going now.
Well, also Kruger Park is just outside of town, and they have trails for cross-country skiing, for snowshoeing, for hiking out there, and they're open year-round. you know, that's a lot of people come out here and to go snowshoeing or go hiking in the winter, and it's kind of cool going out there. It's trails all over out there, so it's a nice walk, a winter walk. And the other things we have going nearby, anyway, we have Whitewater State Park is nearby. They groom their trails, which makes it a lot more fun than for cross-country skiing. So we have just up the street, there's Red Wing and Lake City. Both of them have groomed trails. So there's a lot of areas right around this area, including Wabasha, where they groom the trails. So you can do a lot of cross-country skiing in this area, a lot of downhill skiing. Our coffee mill is pretty good, considering it's a small town and all. It's a good ski area, so it's fun. It's fun here.
You bet. Good point.
And we touched a little bit earlier on the National Eagle Center. Do want to mention there was a real nice honor for the family and for a young man who was killed in action in the Vietnam War, and I think his family was very honored with the bridge when it was dedicated, the Michael Klickner Interstate Bridge.
David, you were here for that dedication, and we appreciate your being here. But yes, we renamed the Interstate Bridge the Michael Klickner Bridge. Certainly his name is on it, but it's in honor of all veterans alive and those who have given their lives in the defense of the United States. So that was an emotional day. It was a great day, and I remember weather-wise it was a beautiful day, so everything came together nicely that day.
It was perfect. Now, Wabasha, you talk about all the things, recreation events and things going on, but you've got a lot of other community events that go on as well. And I know Septoberfest just kind of wrapped up.
Right. I'm proud of all of those events, but I think Jim would do a much better job of going through them.
Well,
and Jim, we only have a day to do this.
Sure. Yeah. What was our time limit again? Septoberfest was, obviously it's in September, into September, all of October, and it's particularly an object of pride for the whole community. This town just goes crazy in decorating. I can't tell you how many people come in the shop and say, "Wow, who did all this?" And it's the community. And it was sponsored by the chamber in the beginning, and they've gotten all this support going. People come up with new ideas. Every year it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more, and it draws in people from Chicago. I mean, like, wow, you guys do this, and they're jealous. They have cows. We have pumpkins. But so that's a fun event, and it's 6 weeks long, and it's full every weekend for that 6 weeks. In the wintertime, we'll have Grumpy Old Men Days, and everybody says, well, gee, Grumpy Old Men, that movie was still playing. My wife and I went to Costa Rica, and we decided we just wanted to stay in one night, so we got a movie and a burger in the room service. What movie did we get?
Grumpy Old Men?
Grumpy Old Men. That guy couldn't believe that's where we were from. It was funny. But anyway, it's still a lot of people out there, and it makes for a fun winter time.
How's it playing
Spanish? They like it. They laughed. So, then in the winter or the summertime, we have the riverboat days going, which I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've only been to one riverboat days in all my years. I ride across Iowa that week, so it's the same week.
That's the RAGBRAI.
That's the RAGBRAI. So I'm busy that week, but I know that it's very, it's a lot of fun in town. People have a nice parade then. Somebody chaired that parade or talked about that parade. It was on TV. I can't remember his name. Told us where we were and what town was that again?
Yeah. Jim was calling me out. I was in a Winona frame of mind that day, and I said erroneously that the Eagle's Nest Coffee House was in Winona.
Jim, you mentioned that you rode across Iowa.
It's in Wabasha.
With the RAGBRAI, but it reminds me that we have a very active bicycle club in Wabasha.
We do.
That Wabasha is the first fit city in the state of Minnesota, and probably the efforts and activities of the bike shop helped us get that recognition.
We are a fit city. We're also bicycle friendly, rated nationally as bicycle friendly, which was a lot of work to get that rating. We have 100+ people in our bicycle club. Not all of them ride, of course. Some of them are social members.
What's the name of that club?
Wabasha Bicycle Club.
Okay. Yeah, catchy.
And then we have a team that we're known throughout the United States. We are the Jokers Wild.
There you go.
Jolly old codgers enjoying ride scenes while imbibing in lots of drinks. Jokers Wild. But we have a team bus. It's purple, stands out. We have a great time with it. Our same bicycle club every year has a spring ride. We're going to New Orleans this year in April. And last year we went to Charleston, year before that Savannah. We every year go out for 1 week and ride, do an early warm-up ride, not too hard. Then we do a fall ride. We usually go to Steel Bridges in Wisconsin and ride up there in the UP and the upper part of Wisconsin. And so it's a very active, we snowshoe, we kayak, it's very active. It's not just bicycling. And it fits with the fit city. Our community, amazingly enough, at night, even in this cold weather, you go out and you'll see people walking every evening. Every morning there's a parade of them that go by as I'm making, getting the morning chores done and looking out the kitchen window. Here they go walking by, I get my baking done. And so it is an active community. I think that's why, you can't be grumpy if you're if you're active and doing all this other stuff. I don't know. This seems just to be it sounds pretty hokey, but it's a very happy community. They work hard at playing, and they have a good time doing it, and they work hard at working. So it's a neat community. I like it.
We're getting close on our time already.
Okay.
We've got a couple more things we wanted to touch in. Now,
Certainly.
Wabasha is a town of over 2,000, but you've got room for some more folks.
We're actually 2521 on the highway sign, and we, like some other smaller communities, would like to see a larger student population in our schools. So we have the Port Authority, the Wabasha Port Authority has an initiative to recruit new families to Wabasha. We are kind of focused on the Rochester area, and as Jim said earlier, the Destination Medical Center, which supposedly is going to bring in thousands and thousands of families. We don't think all of them are going to want to live in Rochester. We think some will like to come over and live on the river. And have their children go to our fine Wabasha public school system. That is ongoing. We've made a financial investment in that project, and we are getting hits on our website. So far as I know, we don't have any solid results yet, but hopefully that'll come. I think finally, David, and thank you very much for coming up this morning. I'll talk briefly about what I see as Wabasha's future, and rather than it being in the traditional industries as agriculture and manufacturing, I think Wabasha's real future is in the arts. We have art communities up and down the river who are very active, very solid. I believe it's in technology. Thanks to HBC, we have cable in Wabasha, high speed. Many people could work right out of their own homes and answer phone calls from Tennessee or Texas or Rochester or anywhere and do business out of their own homes. And then finally, I think our future is continuing to be in tourism. Having the attractions that we do now, David, and then building on them, and hopefully Wabasha's economic future will be bright. I think that we have the Mississippi River going through town, and of course they're not building any more Mississippi Rivers anywhere, And I think that the future, that the best part of the Mississippi River activity is ahead of us. I think for recreation, we're going to have a better future than we have a past. And the past has been very blessed. So that's what I would like to end up with on Who is Wabasha today.
Well, thank you both very much for allowing me to come up and chew the fat with you, as they say, and learn a little bit more about Wabasha, and also have some sharing of the information about Wabasha.
You're certainly welcome.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day.
You too, David.